Good afternoon and welcome to the Committee of Adjustment for June 15, 2023. First order of business is any pecuniary interest by anybody today? Take that as a no. Our first application today is an application for a minor variance, 251 Airport Parkway, Belleville, and the owner is 163270 Ontario Inc., known as MilFab. And Greg, can you give us an update on that? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The application proposes an expansion of non-conforming use. There's an existing building on the property with a flat roof, and the owner is seeking to replace that flat roof with a peaked roof. So by virtue of the non-conforming provisions in zoning allow for a building to be within a fixed envelope where it's existing. So by virtue of making it higher and having the eaves project out from the existing building more than what currently happens, they need to come to the committee to apply for relief. So the proposal is to increase the maximum building height from the current 16 feet, which is 4.88 meters, up to a maximum of 25 feet, 7.6 meters to the peak, and to also permit eaves and roof overhang to extend up to 2.5 feet from the building into all yards, which is approximately 0.76 meters.
You, sir, are?
Andy Voss.
Okay.
V as Victor, V-O-S.
Do you have anything to add to this?
Just the roof.
Anybody have any questions for this gentleman? Take that as no, thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience that wishes to comment on that application for Parkway? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
If no other questions, concerns, moved by Jack, second by Robert Kay. All in favor? Thank you. Okay, our next application is for minor variance, 201 Pinnacle Street, Belleville, formerly 211-217. The owner is 2834246 Ontario Inc. And is Greg?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The application proposes the redevelopment of the former property at the corner of Bridge and Pinnacle Street for a new residential development, incorporating the properties at 211 and 217 Pinnacle. The minor variance seeks relief to increase the maximum building height from the previously allowed 20.63 meters to a maximum of 21 meters. So 10-inch, 12-inch increase in maximum height. And to reduce the amount of parking provided on site. The proposal is for a mixed-use development which will have residential units as well as ground floor commercial. The proposal is to reduce the number of commercial parking spaces provided on site while still maintaining the required number of residential spaces. So this would be a reduction from required 26 commercial spaces to 5 commercial spaces, so a reduction of 21 spaces. Overall, this is a reduction from 161 spaces to 140 spaces. And also proposes the reduction in minimum setback for parking abutting a residential zone from 1.5 meters to 0.5 meters. This is for the northeast corner of the property. There's a large building, older house up on the hill at that northeast corner that is in a residential zone. So that's the only portion of the property where that reduction would be required. This is also recommended subject to the payment of the city's cash in lieu of parking contribution to the parking reserve fund for each space that's not provided.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Is there anyone from the corporation here to make any comments?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Nitin Malhotra from N Architecture. And yes, I'm here on behalf of the ownership group, the owners of the property are also behind me, so if you have any questions, more than happy to answer. We have the staff comments. As we all know, they're favorable in nature, and we understand that we have to pay the cash in lieu for the parking shortfall.
A question, how many units are going to be in this building?
This is going to be, I think, 108? 108 units,
108? Now, are
Yes.
they condominiums or rentals?
condominiums.
They're condominiums,
Yeah.
so they'll be sold, okay? Any other questions for this gentleman? Jack?
Yes, there's an old house, I think, that comes along with this property that was a business, and that house is coming down?
Yes, it's coming down.
Okay.
Yeah, we dealt with that once before, I think, something to do with that house, yeah, okay. Anybody else have any questions for this gentleman? Okay,
Yeah, just curious what the anticipated completion date is for the build?
Completion date, I believe we want to start construction next year?
Yeah, it's going to be next year, but right now, when we site plan is approval, then we can market this property.
Yeah, so I think we are waiting for the site plan to be approved and apply for building permit. So we're anticipating next year construction start. Yes.
any other questions? Is there anyone else in the audience that wishes to comment on 201 Maple Street? Sorry. Start over again. Our next application is B 1123, 228 Dundas Street East, and the owner is Metamore Inc., and the agent is Watson Land Surveyors. Greg?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this application is a resubmission of an application that was previously approved by the committee and then lapsed. And then I believe it was applied for again last fall and then withdrawn because it was going forward at the same time as a zoning amendment for the property, and there was some confusion about that. So it was pulled off the table. So it's been resubmitted now. Just switch the slide here. So the application requests to sever this existing property into two parcels. The southern one has an existing three-story special care residential building on it that's under renovation. And then the northern part is vacant except for an existing parking lot on it. Conditions of approval recommend deeding of road widening, confirming that the existing services leading to the existing building are not on the proposed second parcel, and approval of appropriate zoning bylaw amendment to rezone the retained parcel so that it complies with the official plan policies. The concern is if a parking lot is severed onto its own property, then it's no longer accessory to a main use, and the official plan does not support the use of that property for a standalone parking lot. So I believe an application has been submitted to begin the process of cleaning that up as well. There's no new development proposed at this time. They're simply wishing to sever it into two lots.
Thank you, Greg. Is Mr. Watson here do you wish to add anything?
I'm not Mr. Watson, but here I am. Jennifer Matthews from Watson Land Surveyors. I'm the agent on file for this application, and we have gone through the proposed conditions with our client, and they will agree to meet the conditions in the time frame.
Okay.
Just here to happy to answer any questions if there is any for me.
Any questions for this lady? Yep, go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to know, Greg had mentioned something about services not being, as a condition, not being on the severed parcel. Do we know if there are services there or not?
There definitely is services to the building on the severed parcel, yes.
Oh, so is that something then that needs to be moved as a condition?
You know what, to be honest with you, we're not 100% sure where they are, if they come off of Dundas Street or Bleecker Street.
Okay,
But I'm pretty sure that they don't come off and go through the retained parcel, but we will, that is one of the conditions to confirm exactly where they are and make sure they're not over there. If they happen to be, then they will have to be moved.
okay.
Okay, any other, Jack?
Quick question. I see there's is it an easement in the second part? Not the one in red, but north?
Yes, there is an easement there for the city of
Is that-
Belleville. It's a sewer easement.
Is that a sanitary or a storm water?
Through the chair, I can advise, there's a very large sanitary sewer running through there, and there's also a very large storm sewer running through there.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone wishes to comment on 228 Dundas? No, Greg?
Sorry, just for the record, I did want to raise one other point. It was discovered when the notice was sent out for this, the text in the notice was correct, and an incorrect map was attached as Appendix 1 to the notice. So the description described this application and its location, but then the map was actually for one that was considered last month. We had one member of the public who called us to advise us of this oversight, and we subsequently corrected it on the website.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Any other questions, concerns? If not, then a motion by Robert Al, seconded by Jack. All in favor? Carried, thank you. That completes that part of our meeting. The next item is confirmation of the minutes of our meeting of May 18th. A mover, seconder? Moved by Jack, second by Scott. All in favor? Okay. Any other business, Greg? Oh. No? Okay. Anyone else have any other business? And no correspondence? Okay, our next meeting is July 13th and at 3:30, unless we have a property standards issue, which will be earlier, but we'll go with the 3:30. And if nothing else, then adjourned by Robert L. Thank you.